because I finally got to watch the Nets with Harden and everything. Um, the first game I caught was last week, which we last week no one had power, so well yeah. Anyway, um,
This isn't a political podcast.
snow and all. Yeah, it was like snow everywhere. I made a snowman. It was great. Um, but um, but the first that game that I saw they played Golden State, and like their defense and I've caught a couple more games since then. I played Phoenix and I caught the game uh last night largely on accident. But like their defense is basically as bad as like I'd heard it was, right? I've they like some of these defense possessions are just terrible. And cause like the thing is they're not really stopping anybody. In fairness, like you can make the argument they don't have to do a whole lot with it, but like it's kind of egregious. Like if anybody else played this defense, they'd be at the bottom of the league right now, right? Um, but they have Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie Irving, uh, and like that makes up for a lot of it. Also, was it Joe Harris is shooting like 50% from deep, which is almost certainly because no one's got time to pay attention to him. But and like and so with Golden State, it's like all the games that I've seen they play. The thing with Golden State was like what they did do well on defense was like they hounded Curry constantly. And like outside of Curry and I would argue Wiggins, no one really showed up for real. Like they were missing wide open shots. They were missing layups. Like they lost because they could not hit anything. And like Curry didn't shoot well from three. He got to the rim at will. Like got to the rim at will, and there was no resistance once he was there. Also, side note, I really like Wiggins' defense. Like I like I got I like I seem like I really like how he plays right now. But um, against Phoenix, they should have lost that game. Like Phoenix like let up off the gas. They at one point they were up by almost like 30, and like the thing is, and like I think like people give like Harden credit for that win or whatever. It like the scrubs had a lot more to do with it. Like they were coming back without Harden in, right? But I think what the thing is, and part of why they keep winning these games is that these dudes like we don't really care about because like they're not that good in general, and like none of them are great defenders. They hustle. They hustle constantly, and like they do it enough that like it comes up for like it makes stuff happen for them when they need it to.
Yeah.
And like and so it's like, is their defense awful? Yes, it is. But they hustle. They hustle on both ends of the floor constantly, and it kind of just works out. How much that will get neutralized come playoff time, I don't know what to tell you. Like,
You know
but
what
like
they say?
isn't but
Closed mouth,
definitely.
Fenless Boulevard.
Hmm.
Nothing. I just made a.
No, I'm just like, well, I'm just the thing with the hustle though is like a lot. Like I think with a lot of players and teams during the regular season, like they're it's not gonna say they're never gonna hustle, but like most dudes in the league don't make their money by like being able to like hustle more than other dudes on the floor. Like there are some dudes who do that. That's where their money is made. But that's not most people in the league. And like so most of them aren't going to hustle like that prior to like the playoffs.
Right.
And so like I wonder when the hustle of other teams picks up, where the fact that the like the net supporting cast hustles, I like will that be mitigated somewhat? Because if that gets mitigated, the net like as the Nets currently exist, they have a problem. Because if the other team's hustling as much as you, that also means your defense isn't going to do what little it does, and like you're gonna struggle to win like that, especially if another team is playing, I don't know, average, but like your defense is awful, so it's gonna look amazing. But it's like I just kind of, I'm sorry.
No, it's like they just people are getting on this Nets bandwagon a little too quickly over these last couple of games, as you've mentioned. Like people are like, uh, you have very few moments, but you usually have a few moments in each basketball season to where something happens and you can kind of just understand the IQ of your fellow basketball fan or talking points of basketball fans and things like that. Turns out most people don't know about basketball. We know this, but you get reminded of this every so often. And the rhetoric behind this Nets team falls along in that, right? Of the last couple of weeks, people are like, man, we kill these whack teams in LA and Phoenix. Like we killing them.
Right.
There's no context behind it. It's like okay.
I'm just like pause for a second. Like there's folks who like made that argument they killed Phoenix. The only time that they were up was at the very end of the game.
Yeah.
And like I don't know why Phoenix stopped going to Paul like at the end there because he was knocking down everything.
Phoenix is just a young team. Like Phoenix is a young team with young players who make like they're in the NBA, but like most young teams do. Don't worry, even LeBron when he was young, he was making the same mistakes, stupid mistakes. Most young teams do that, and they beat a young team who just happens to have one. They have like one grizzled veteran, like you know what I mean. But overall, they're a young team. Both the LA game yesterday should have lost, bad calls, whatever. And then the Lakers game, 80 didn't play, correct?
Yeah.
80 hurt.
Yeah. What? Their second best player, who was like a top 10 player in the NBA, didn't play? Come on now. You can't disregard that. But people are disregarding it like, man, this Nets team is I've never seen nothing like it. I'm like, y'all.
I mean, in fairness, we really haven't seen anything like it.
It's not like they're the most incredible offensive team of all time, though.
They like statistically speaking, like unless something has changed, they are like since they've gotten Harden, they've been the best offensive team of all time. They've also been the worst defensive team of all time.
Yeah.
They've statistically been the best offensive team of all time.
Yeah.
By what measure?
Like offensive rating, I think, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. But I told you that was going to happen at the beginning of the season, bro. Full-time James Harden point guard with Kyrie Irving playing the two, where all he has to do is score, and then Kevin Durant. There's not a lot that you can do to stop that. That's three dudes that can just go get 25.
So you got to win the championship?
I don't have them winning the championship because of the thing that we all know is the issue: defense. I partially don't know why we keep talking about like how bad their defense is. There's nothing that's going to change. Like I get they have, like, to Calvin's benefit, Joe Harris, Bruce Brown, Tyler Johnson, Jeff Green, Landry Shamet, and to some point Timothy Lawal Cabarro. All of those dudes are going to fight every single night and give 110% in effort because they have to stay in the league. When we get to like the actual playoffs, where every team has to then do the same exact thing to actually win, this Nets team is going to be exactly what we think they are. Where they're going to have to outscore you. Like they got Noah Vonleh to shore up their defense. That's who they got to help. Like this isn't.
They also got Amon Shumpert and Andre Roberson.
Bro, Amon Shumpert was in the middle of an album.
He in the league still?
No, he was in the middle of making an album. They called him up.
If Amon Shumpert don't got a flat top, I don't care. If Amon Shumpert don't got a flat top, I don't care about him.
There's nothing to get to Amon Shumpert.
Amon Shumpert is the only one that matters. This one right here, I'm in love with Tiana taking weird naked pictures with his wife guy. I'm not.
Philip, just be a hater somewhere else. Being a hater. Let that man live his life.
I can't hate.
No.
Man, you telling me I can't hate? You telling me I can't be me? Come on now.
We can hate about on court stuff. We gonna let you live your life off the court. On court, we gonna give it to you.
Okay.
But no, man, this Nets team is showing you what they are. They got some scrappy wing players. They ain't got no defense, and they got 3 dudes that's gonna give you all the points in the world. And James Harden's like passing. It made me blush the other day, bro. I love seeing him just throw the ball around, bro. It hits everybody in the right spots. He's making like passing lanes. It's everything, bro.
Hey, relax.
Oh, yeah. Passing.
So what?
Relax. He good. Yeah.
Nah, man.
They also like keep who's somehow convinced that like they're gonna get a defensive big on a buyout or something, which I don't understand. Like if I'm Cleveland, if I can't find a trade for like Drummond, I'd rather just keep him than like let the Nets get him. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
No, bro. I get it, but if you the Cavs, I don't fully see the advantageous point of having Andre Drummond. I do think he's still fairly young. I feel like we keep talking about this every single time. It's always this fairy tale with the Nets. We get it. They can't play defense. They score a lot of points. And they really, really, really are praying to somebody to get a big that's not named Noah Vonleh, Jeff Green, or Kevin Durant. Because Kevin Durant was starting at center like 2-3 games ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I like this Nets team a lot, though. It's fun. They fun to watch. I'm just tired of hearing like the same narratives. We all know it's true. It's obvious.
And like you're just gonna at this point we're just gonna get the roller coaster of like, oh, they're amazing, they're trash. They're amazing, they're trash. Like depending upon whether or not they win. And like they managed to get out of their like little West spree without any like losses, which good for them. But like, you kind of feel like they got lucky with it on it like in a couple of ways. But wins are wins at the end of the day, and like Harden flopped, and like I'm upset if for no other reason like I don't get an overtime or something. But like, good for him, he made the right play. They won the game. Like, but like it's stuff that like if you think about them, like we've mentioned, you're concerned like if like if you're them, you're concerned like this isn't sustainable when we get to the playoffs.
No, I definitely get it. One thing that I have noticed though with James Harden, have you ever heard any of like what players have said about James Harden when he was in high school?
No.
Mm-mm.
All right, so the scouting report a little bit on James Harden, especially when he was like younger high school days, he was just like a chubby dude that knew how to play the game. Like he had really good touch, like he could pass, he could beat you up in a pick and roll, and I truly feel like we're getting that version of James Harden in the league.
That just sounds like what he does now.
Exactly, like 6'4", 220-pound point guard, and just like physically more opposing than everybody. And I'm going to hit every shot and make every pass that you need me to. Like, I appreciate this. This makes me happy.
Once again, Calvin McGowan, hope you enjoyed yourself. If you are watching on YouTube, like, share, subscribe, leave something in the comments. You can also listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts. You made it this far, once again, thank you. I hope you got a lot done of whatever it was you were working on while listening to this. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your day.